This is Rhett. I haven't made videos much for a while. It's been really depressing. The spiritual warfare has been horrendous. And it's depressing too with all that's going on, because I went through this in 2015 and lost nearly anyone that mattered to me at the time for taking the stance that the lesser of two evils is still evil. And now 2020 happened, same thing happened, except for more people woke up. I have to say that. No one ever apologized or said I was right or anything, but I don't care about that anyway. I just hate seeing people deceived. But I lost more people in 2020, but it was a little easier since he was the father of the you-know-what and was so proud of it. And now people have forgotten that, and they don't want Jesus to come, apparently, because they want 4 more years here. And here we go again, getting unfriended by people. The comment sections are constantly arguing. I don't get it. I really don't. But I mean, you can't be mad at somebody for being blind. I just don't understand why people can't understand about all this. I'm not talking about just this one situation. I'm talking about everything that's going on in general. You're not all going to believe the same thing, but the Holy Spirit should be leading everybody in the same direction. But yet we've got these people in these little crowds spiking out with either some new age or either some politician to believe in or something else to believe in or anything but Jesus coming back, when the Spirit and the bride say come. Not the Spirit and the bride say 4 more years, make America great again. The arguing is just so ridiculous. And it's about everything. When everyone's deceived, even someone like me watching 24 hours a day is deceived, I have to parse through what's true and go with discernment and what connections are made, what makes sense. I figured I'd look through the news today and see if we saw anything together. I haven't looked yet, and try to stay away from the one volatile topic of this joke that's going on. Alright, let's open up Telegram. So let's go up to 2:09 a.m. So that was yesterday. Okay. So rumors are going around about the president suffering a stroke. They show him making a cringing face after drinking tea. It may take us years to know what's really going on in China. And the way this media is here, we may never know the truth. And Biden tested positive, of course. That way he can get out and save his pride and his ego and keep all his supporters happy. Because he says stuff like this.
It's all about treating people with dignity. And it's about making sure that, look, for example, look at the heat I'm getting because I named the Secretary of Defense to a black man. I named Ketanji Brown. Because of the people I've named. It's all about treating people with dignity.
It's just, it's a joke. Yeah, of course he'll get the red carpet treatment. Huh. That's interesting. One of the head advisors in China is removed. See, China's struggling right now because, all that crap that everybody had that they got from Walmart, all that crap is manufactured in China. So if China is not around, if China's not manufacturing it for us, then there's nowhere for them to make their money. They're also dealing with a problem with they have emaciated their natural resources. So they've got to take over more land to get more resources. Hence the takeover of the United States. Because we're going into a communist government. Don't get it twisted. we won't be here for it, but that's what we're seeing. We're already socialist, been socialist. Hulk Hogan to speak at the RNC. That's fitting since we're watching the WWF. And Elon Musk. You know, this Netanyahu thing coming next week is interesting because they say this, well, they're calling the Wing of Zion, which is a Boeing 767. It's their version of Air Force One. They just got this thing. It's only been test flown for 3.5 hours, which they did fly it over the Atlantic yesterday to bring some pre-positioned stuff for his meeting. But it being a Boeing and all this stuff they've had about Boeing, the thought has crossed my mind of them taking him out of the picture so the Antichrist can rise. It's going to be interesting to watch, because either way we'll be blamed for it, because we made the plane and then it was on the runways here if something happens to do it on the way back. Okay, see what Bubba News is saying. Ben Gravere goes to Temple Mount again. Yeah, that's not going to happen. The revival's coming after we leave. The only way that these people pulling for Trump are going to get on the rapture train 100% is if this dollar dies, because that's the real problem, is the idol of the dollar. Until people lose their money, they're going to keep hoping for something in this world. No Palestinian state, which we know that's not coming. And Iran's, of course, going to keep. Nothing's changed in there. This guy, Thomas Crooks, ain't even the same guy. Why else tells Secret Service to keep quiet? So, lab-grown meat approved in the UK for chickens. All this stuff about Trump, this is just a big distraction anyway. I hate to see so many people deceived, but I'm not going to take the time to prove it. There's too much information out there. People can't figure it out. I don't know what to tell them at this point. Explosion at Taiwan resin factory. All these explosions, they aren't a coincidence. And now we've got to see that this guy who supposedly tried to shoot somebody spent $1,400 on OnlyFans. Of course, destroy the fake guy's character. Of what I've already seen. I just watch him a mirror if something's actively going on in Israel. I haven't been able to stomach him ever since he said that his book, the fiction book he wrote, is better in some circumstances at reaching people with the gospel than the Bible. I can't listen to him after that. And then he supported the jab too. Okay, let's go check the Drudge Report. This is what the movie is supposed to be about. I think that's hilarious. Hulk Hogan is speaking at the Republican National Convention, considering this is WWF. Let's see what this dude looks like now. How you gonna be
People
married
everywhere are
to
recommending GoodRx.
My neighbor showed me the app. It helped me save on my kids' allergy pills.
GoodRx can save you a lot of.
How you gonna be married to Gavin Newsom and then turn around and marry Donald Trump Jr.? That makes no sense. That's an awesome man jaw like that. I wish I had a sculpted jaw like that. And my Adam's apple isn't nearly that big. That's why I covered it up with a beard. She's done her little upside down cross. I'd like to ask everyone to pray for President Trump's ear. He got an ear piercing. Yes, it looks like it's going to be gauged from now on. And I'm going to be just standing over here being a man. I'll talk to y'all later. That's a manly looking woman. And she was in Playboy too. I never saw it, but what an airbrushing they must have done. JD, it's funny, his original last name isn't Vance, it's Bowman. So Bowman, man on the white horse, Bow. JD Bowman. And he's supposedly a Catholic who was an evangelical Christian who's married to a Hindu. That makes as much sense as Alice Cooper being a Christian touring with Rob Zombie, who's a Satanist. Or Johnny Cash being a Christian and his best friend being Chris Christopherson, who is a Satanist. Or Waylon Jennings, who is a Satanist. Or Willie Nelson, who's a Satanist. It's just people falling for the movie. Nashville has a Nazi problem. They're linking these Nazis to Christians. I'm telling you, it's coming. And this JD claims to be a Christian nationalist. I'm telling y'all are getting pulled into a honeypot. Everybody on Truth Social is already in a honeypot. That was just a information gathering for the FBI. Now, this says first suicide pod used soon in Switzerland, but I just read where a woman done it last week to get back at her husband she was in a divorce battle with for years. They can't even keep their stories straight. Conspiracy theories are a very American tradition. Well, considering the CIA come up with the term during the JFK debacle, I would say they are. Costco sells Apocalypse bucket with food that lasts 25 years. If you want to last 25 years eating canned chicken, go ahead. Bannon filmed Epstein for 15 hours. Documentary never surfaced. Black flowers and sad statues. Gardens going goth. Of course Hamas planned it for a decade. They had the Mossad's help. This is about building the Ben Gurion Canal. This information isn't hard to find. You're just not going to find it on the news. The fight over masks in stores is back, this time with a twist. Let's see what the twist is. I was in Nashville, Tennessee when this broke out last time, and the only place that really fought with me was Publix. They called the cops, but the cops had messed up and arrested someone for not wearing one on a bus, and there was protest and outrage, so they got to where they couldn't force you to wear one anywhere. So I argued with people for a solid 8 months before I moved back to Georgia. Then I just stayed my butt at home. Masks are creating controversy for businesses again, but this time for a different reason. Early in the pandemic, retailers faced backlash for mandating face coverings. Now some store owners are demanding customers drop their masks. Imagine so, they're getting robbed. Police and some small business owners say police are exploiting a cultural acceptance of masks established by you-know-what to commit robberies while hiding their faces. I got jumped by 3 people in masks. That's why I left Nashville and got beat up and robbed. They were closing down all the stores in Nashville at 7 o'clock, right at dark, because they were getting robbed so bad. So of course they're robbing folks with masks on. What you think they're going to do? A daily pill to prevent sexually transmitted infections? It may work, scientists say. Oh, why don't you stop having promiscuous sex? That'll work too. The 7 health benefits of cold showers. In other words, get rid of your hot water heater. Why are Gen Z boys chewing on rock hard gum? The same reason they're doing everything else they are, because they have no common sense anymore. Animal lifespans have extended by 25% by revolutionary supermodel drug. Well, let's see what Hal Turner's telling us. If anything new has happened. Loud, boisterous arguments in the White House right now. How are they hearing them? Okay, I'll check out Twitter offline because there's so much to weed through that's fake on there. Y'all take care. The gospel is 1 Corinthians 15, 1-4, that Jesus came according to the scriptures. He died on the cross for your sins, past, present, and future. He was buried and was raised on the 3rd day according to the scriptures. Believe that. Be saved. Go in this rapture. 4 more years? Really? 4 more years? I don't want 4 more hours on this earth. The bride and the spirits, they come.